Hello, Dr. Nair.
Yeah.
Yes, you are live, sir. You can start your presentation now.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. K.D. Nair. I'm going to talk about when to offer IVF to your patients. If you look at the current scenario, is normal conception possible? There are a lot of reports in the magazine and in the media, social media, like what has happened to having kids, why more and more married couples are going childless. This is the issue being discussed. You look at the probability of conceiving, the probability of conceiving for periods in one year directly after stopping birth pills, that is the red line, you have 84% possibilities. If no pregnancy has been achieved within 1 year, the blue line, you have 49%. If no pregnancy has been achieved within 3 years, that is green line, that is only 14%. These are the probability of conceiving according to your previous history. To maximize the natural fertility, you have to give advice about the frequency of intercourse, coital practices, fertile period, diet, lifestyle. The frequency of intercourse has to be, it doesn't need not be every day. It can be every alternate day, or 3 times in a week, or 2 times in a week. The coital practices has to be normal coital practices, so that after contact, after intercourse, the semen doesn't flow out. The contact has to be in the fertile period. One has to have good diet, nutritious diet, and a lifestyle which is conducive to achieve pregnancy, like stopping smoking, alcohol, all those things, some moderate amount of exercise. All these are needed to maximize the natural fertility. How do you define infertility? A systematic review of prevalence studies published by Sindhya Bhattacharya. He correlated the age of the female partner with the duration of exposure to the pregnancy. But basically, how do we define infertility? The demographers are tending to define infertility as childlessness in a population of women of reproductive age group. So, how many women are childless in a reproductive age group population? Whereas the epidemiologists refer to as trying for or trying to pregnancy generally in a population of women exposed to a probability of conception. So the epidemiologist definition is what we are infertile people are also trying to take, that is the time to pregnancy. So failure to achieve a successful pregnancy after 12 months or more of appropriate time unprotected intercourse, that is how we define infertility. And it is estimated that more than 50% of couples living in a developed country are infertile. There is no major change in the prevalence, but there has been an increase in the demand for treatment during the past decade. So the incidence has remained the same, prevalence has remained the same, but there is an increase in the demand for treatment during the last decade. The time required for conception in couples who will attain pregnancy, if they are exposed for 3 months, the 57% couple will get pregnancy. If they are having 6 months contact, 72%. If 1 year contact, 85%, and 50% remain infertile. If the contact is more than 2 years, around almost 93% of them will get pregnancy. The guidelines for referring for infertility specialists, it all depends upon the woman age. If age is less than 35, you can wait for 12 months. If the age is more than 35, you can, within 6 months, you should see the infertility specialist. And if in the female partner there is history of endometriosis, pelvic inflammatory disease, or sexually transmitted disease, amenorrhea, pelvic pain, all these issues you should refer the patient quickly. Similarly, in the male partner, if there is abnormal result from semen analysis, history of sexually transmitted disease, varicose, you must refer such couple little earlier. The causes of infertility can be in the female partner 30%, in the male partner 30%. It can be mixed with both male and female in around 20%, and unexplained remain 20%. Causes of male infertility, we all know idiopathic is the highest cause, 31.7%, followed by varicocele. Then the other causes follow. The causes of infertility, the female factors, it can be either the ovulation factor, can be higher center defect like hypothalamic pituitary axis, pituitary ovarian axis like PCO or premature ovarian failure. It can be tubal factor because of pelvic inflammatory disease or tuberculosis, which is very common in India. Endometriosis, uterine factor like Asherman or congenital anomalies, cervical factor or coital factor. The basic infertility evaluation, you need to have medical history, both male and female. You need to have semen analysis. You need to have detection of ovulation. You have to have check for the potency of tube, and you check for the uterine evaluation. This is how we go about the semen analysis. That is, the semen analysis is indicated because the semen analysis is indicated initially. Why? Because if the sperm count is more than 10 million, there is endocrine abnormalities will not be the cause of infertility in the male. So that is how we can classify that we do a semen analysis, and when the sperm count is more than 10 million, we are ruling out the endocrine abnormalities. WHO reference 2010, this is being followed by all the clinics these days. This is the new definition of normal semen analysis. Assessment of ovulation, you can measure serum progesterone in the mid-luteal phase, day 21 of the day 28 cycles, and according to that, you can define whether ovulation has happened or not. Women with irregular menstrual cycle should be offered a blood test to measure serum FHS, LH, and prolactin should only be offered to women with with ovulatory disorder or galactoria. The use of basal body temperature to confirm ovulation does not reliably predict ovulation and is generally not recommended. The number of oocytes in a female decreases with age. As the age is increasing, the number of oocytes decrease. At birth, almost 1 million oocytes are present. By puberty, they are decreased to 300,000. By menopause, they are decreased to essentially zero. Ovarian reserve tests have limited sensitivity and specificity in predicting fertility. But these are the various ovarian reserve tests we can do. Assessment of tubal factor. Women who have not known to have comorbidities such as pelvic inflammatory disease, they should be offered hysterosalpingography. And women who thought to have comorbidity should be offered laparoscopy and dye test so that tubal and other pathology can be assessed at the same time. Hydrosalpinsis, it is good evidence that salpingectomy prior to IVF in women with hydrosalpinsis improves the outcome. Assessment of uterine abnormality, the uterine women should not be offered hysteroscopy on its own as a part of initial investigation unless clinically indicated. Women with infertility and normal HSE has no parametric uterine cavity when subsequently examined with hystoscope. So you cannot offer hystoscopy to all the women. Uterine factor, it can be evaluated by ultrasonography, hysterosalpingography, hystoscopy, and congenital anomalies. The uterus can affect endometrial receptivity. It can septal uter can also contribute to recurrent implantation failure. Untreated septal uteri have poor outcome following IVF, and Vance Furness proved that septum resection, small or large, was associated with 80% miscarriage rate, which is reduced to 30% post removal. So you can remove the septum. Uterine anomaly like submucous fibroid, intramural fibroid, more than 4 centimeters, endometrial polyp, addition, they are all need to be removed before putting the patient to IVF. When we should counsel for IVF? A reasonable course when counseling a young couple with no clear block to conception. Is it to complete a total of 1 year of unprotected intercourse and 1 year of conventional treatment? Couple may be offered 3 to 6 cycles of superovulation and IUI before proceeding to IVF. That is the ASHRAE Capri workshop, the pregnancy rate following IUI, that is pregnancy rate of 5%, pregnancy rate per cycle. If you combine clomiphene with IUI, it is 7%. If you combine gonadotropin with IUI, it is 12%. And if you combine, you do only IVF, it is 31%. So that is the pregnancy rate per cycle as per the ASHRAE Capri workshop. In which patient do you routinely offer IUI? According to ASHRAE workshop, Capri workshop, male infertility when the donor sperm is being required, all categories of unexplained infertilities, and coupled with minimal or mild endometriosis. That was in 2009. Then in 2013, NICE came that unexplained infertility, mild endometriosis, mild male factor infertility, advise them try to conceive for a total of 2 years, which can include up to 1 year after their fertility investigation before IVF can be considered. And they say in such case, NICE said there is no need to go for IUI in such cases. Wait for 2 years, then go for IVF directly. IVF is a process by which an egg is fertilized by a sperm outside the body. It is evolved as a major treatment protocol for infertility. The term in vitro from Latin means in a glass is used as an early biological experiment involving civilization, involving cultivation of tissues outside the living organism. They carried out in a glass container, such as beakers, test tubes, or petri dish. That is why it is called uh, in vitro. The colloquial term of babies conceived as a result of IVF is test tube babies. That is a term which is generally used. This is IVF step by step. You do ovulation induction, ovum pickup, collection of the sperm, fertilization of the oocytes, and embryo culture, and finally the embryo transfer. The history of IVF, which started in 1890. In 1969, the Nature published a paper authored by Edward and Steptoe, the early stages of fertilization in vitro of human oocyte matured in vitro. And 1977, the first IVF pregnancy in human and birth of Louis Brown was there. That was the first IVF baby delivered by Sir Edward. In India, also Dr. Subhash Mukhopadhyay was a physician from Calcutta who created the world's second and India first IVF baby using IVF technology. The baby is named Durga, which was born 67 days after the first IVF baby born in UK. Unfortunately, he was harassed by the state government and not allowed to share his achievement, and he became rejected and committed suicide on 19 June 1981. The critically acclaimed film Ek Doctor Ki Maut was made on his life, Dr. Subhash Mukhopadhyay. The IVF current scenario, more than 8 million children are born after ART worldwide. Currently, 4% of infants born in developing countries are conceived through ART. In India, the total demand of IVF cycle was 100,000 in 2015 and is expected to touch 250,000 in 2020. Even though most of these conception occur and progress without complication, the ART procedures and processes may increase itogenesis through complication in and after conception. So one has to be careful. You see, the number of cycles have been increasing phenomenally from 100,000 to 250,000 in 2020. The cause of rise in IVF, the limited understanding of subfertility, delay in first planned pregnancy, lack of confidence in spontaneous conception, time preferences, expansion of indication of all type of infertility, the lack of evidence for less invasive treatment. These are the indication of IVF, like you have tubal disease in women with blocked fallopian tube. IVF is largely replaces surgery, endometriosis, who have often tubal involvement, ovulatory dysfunction in patients with PCOS, age-related infertility, and male factor infertility, ageospermia, oligospermia, pre-implantation genetic testing. If it is needed, you need to have IVF only. The indication of IVF in the era 91 to 2006, these were the various type of indication. The male factor, multiple factor, tubal factor, endometriosis, ovulatory disorder, and if you look at this, these are the UK government, UK society statistics. In 2010, the indication of IVF have changed. The tubal disease has come up as a major cause, followed by male factor, and unexplained infertility is also becoming a new factor. In 2013, again, unexplained has become a major factor. Unexplained infertility prevalence is almost 20 to 30%. It is diagnosis of exclusion. and documented evidence of ovulation has to be there, normal semen parameters, and patent fallopian tube. The manage of unexplained infertility, the spectrum of invasiveness, right from this initial step of no treatment to giving only clomiphene or to doing IUI or giving superovulation with IUI or finally IVF. You have a whole spectrum of invasiveness when you are dealing with unexplained infertility. In one model, the cost effectiveness ratio for IVF alone, unstimulated IVF followed by IVF or stimulated IVI followed by IVF, the cost will keep on increasing if you keep on investing in IUI or non-stimulated IUI cycles. So, in unexplained infertility, it's better to go for IVF directly. The fast track and standard treatment it demonstrated a shorter time to pregnancy and higher per cycle pregnancy rate for IVF compared with treatment with oral or gonadotropin in patients with unexplained fertility. पानी दे दे. A randomized, this was a trial and it was published in Fertility Stability, and they compared whether if you give clomiphene with IUI or gonadotropin with IUI or directly go to IVF, the cost benefit is definitely IVF directly. The NICE guidelines do not offer oral ovarian stimulation agent in unexplained infertility, and in unexplained infertility, clomiphene citrate standalone treatment does not increase the chance of pregnancy. Offer IVF treatment to women with unexplained infertility who have not conceived up to 2 years. This is the NICE guidelines. Live birth at 3 years of unexplained infertility. If you look at the live birth rate, the pregnancy following IVF, following IUI or ovulation induction, or a chance of spontaneous pregnancy is still there after 3 years of unexplained infertility. If you look at this model adopted by Hanault in 2004, that it was a scoring depending upon the woman age, duration of subfertility, the type of subfertility, the sperm motility, and the referral status. We calculate the score, and according to that score, we had concluded in the Belgian consensus that if the score is more or equal to 40%, the predicted chance of spontaneous conception within 1 year, when the score is 10 or less, you give expectant management for 1 year. If this expected predicted chance of spontaneous conception is 30 to 40%, that is when the score is more than annual score is more than 10 to 15. Choice is between expectant management and medical or surgical treatment. If the chance of pregnancy is less than 30%, when the score is more than 15, then active medical or surgical treatment is recommended. Here we came to the randomized clinical trial to determine optimal fertility treatment in older couples, 40 and above treatment, population fertility sterility. And it also shows that in older women with unexplained infertility, when you compare the 2 cycles of control ovarian hyperstimulation with IUI versus immediate IVF, there is superior pregnancy rate with pure cycle treatment in immediate IVF group. When to offer, how to select the patient, tubal factor, male, severe male factor, diminished ovarian reserve, other common causes of infertility, ovarian failure, uterine factor, and in just women with gestation carrier who do not have a uterus or whom pregnancy is medically contraindicated like surrogate pregnancy. Better to offer IVF as a primary treatment option to couples with female partner over the age of 40. If you have a couple with female more than 30 years of age, better to offer them IVF directly. IVF can be also useful in clinical setting like pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, prevention of mitochondrial disorder, potential correction of germline mutation. Outcome of IVF in a woman less than 35, clinical per IVF cycle is 45 to 50%. Miscarriage rate is 15 to 20%, and live birth for IVF 30 to 35%, cumulative live birth rate 65 to 70%. Average implantation rate in IVF is around 25%. Inadequate uterine receptivity is responsible for 2/3 of the causes, and embryo quality of embryo is responsible for 1/3 of the causes. This is how we get plain embryo quality endometrium laboratory API. How to improve the egg quality? You can give DHEAs, you can give testosterone gel, you can give recombinant LH, you can add growth hormone. All these are adjuvant which you can use trying to improve the quality of egg. To select the best pump, you can use microfluidic, you can use Pixie, you can use INSI or magnetic activated cell sorting. You can do a dual stimulation co-responder. The dual stimulation target antral follicle in the follicular phase and in the luteal phase. This is how the dual stimulation is being given. You can do a PGT, a pre-implantation genetic testing of the embryos. You can give a laser assisted hatching of the embryo to improve the implantation. Improving endometrium, you can do histoscopic adhesive lysis, hormonal manipulation. Linear modality is GCF and autologous platelet plasma. PRP, we presented a paper in the last ASHRE conference also that PRP is a cytokine activated platelet in PRP, cytokine and growth factors become bioactive. You can either use GCF also for thin endometrium, and you can check for endometrial receptivity era to check what is the receptivity of the endometrium. Either it can be receptive, then a day 3 embryo can be given with progesterone for 3 days, and day 5 embryo can be transferred with progesterone for 5 days. If the report is pre-receptive, then you have to give the progesterone for a little longer duration. And if the report is post-receptive, then you have to give a shorter duration progesterone for this thing. Safety of IVF, you have to think of ovarian hyperstimulation, multiple births, miscarriage, and ectopic pregnancy. These are the common complications with IVF. Ovarian hyperstimulation, this is how both churches look from the ultrasound. Multiple pregnancy, more than 20% pregnancies are multiple. Psychological impact, 48% of women who are infertile rate it as the worst experience of their life. You have to have psychological counseling of such couple. IVF is generally very safe, and most of who have experienced have no problem with their health or pregnancy. Majority of the children born following IVF will have a good outcome. Although the birth defect in ART reported in 2012 in New England Journal of Medicine has given a slightly higher odd ratio of birth defect of women children conceived by IVF compared to natural 1.28 and YIC 1.55. Are we overusing IVF? The indication for IVF are expanded from tubal disorder to many causes of subfertility, including unexplained, but with limited evidence underpinning this expanded remit to explain how the risk could outweigh the benefit. So you have to clearly define what are the risks, what are the benefits of doing the IVF. Finally, summary, the lack of confidence in a spontaneous conception, need to question treatment in a good prognosis couple, vacuum left by ineffective treatment by the IVF, few trials of IVF versus expectant management, demand for early success, commercial pressure, risk of IVF which is associated with over-treatment. So all this you have to consider while taking the patient up for IVF. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nair. It was an insightful session, sir. Thank you so much for sharing this. And I thank you on behalf of all the doctors and audience who joined today and from Librate. And we look forward to host you again in future, sir. Thank you so much for your time.